Welcome to this webinar on the Adjunct Faculty Development Grant Program. My name is Susan Erickson West, and during this webinar I will be sharing with you information about the Adjunct Faculty Development Grant Program and tips to help you develop a strong, competitive proposal. As per the collective bargaining agreement between the KSCAA and USNH, KSC offers $10,000 annually in competitive grants to provide support for adjunct faculty development. 3 members of the KSCAA serve on the review committee to determine the grant awards and make policy recommendations regarding the fund. While the Office of Sponsored Projects and Research helps to facilitate the process, OSPR staff do not vote on the proposals. All adjunct faculty with 5 or more semesters of service at KSC are eligible to apply for adjunct faculty development grant funds. The maximum award is $800. In addition, matching funds are available for adjunct faculty with 30 or more semesters of service. This can increase the total grant award to a maximum of $1,600. What types of activities are eligible? Activities that directly impact and relate to the faculty members' KSC courses, their content, pedagogy, or assessment. Examples of such activities might include attendance or participation in conferences, workshops at KSC or elsewhere, or travel to conduct scholarly research. It should be noted that activities must take place after the date of the grant award. The exception to this is for faculty requesting a stipend for their participation in KSC meetings or workshops. This type of request has a slightly different process using a separate application form and can be submitted after the date of the meeting or workshop. Other guideline information. There are no submission deadlines for the adjunct faculty development grants. Applications can be submitted at any time during the academic year. Faculty wishing to submit application during the summer months, when the Adjunct Faculty Development Committee is not on contract, should be aware that the response time for application review may take up to 3 to 4 weeks and should plan accordingly. It should also be noted that faculty may only receive 1 adjunct faculty development grant per fiscal year. Awarded funds must be spent and accounted for through the KSC Business Office within the fiscal year. The deadline for reimbursements for this year's awards is June 15th, 2012. You may be asking yourself, where do I go to get the most up-to-date information on adjunct faculty development grants? Information can be found on the OSPR website at the following link: www.keene.edu/grants/AFDG.CFM. The next question you might have is, how do I make my adjunct faculty development grant proposal competitive? Here are some thoughts and tips for you to consider. Some things to keep in mind. Internal does not mean informal. Even though this is an internal grant program, you are still requesting that a sponsor, in this case Keene State College, give you money to conduct a research or professional activity. Your proposal should be every bit as well constructed and strong as any external grant or paper you might submit for publication. Proposal preparation tips. Give yourself enough time. Putting together a strong grant proposal takes time to develop the project and to construct the proposal. Carefully read the information on the website. Make sure you understand the guidelines and that your project meets the guideline requirements. And finally, read the proposal review form. This can be found on the website under Proposal Submission Guidelines. This form is used by the committee to rate all proposals. Make sure that your proposal addresses each of the criteria on the review form. More proposal preparation tips. Follow the instructions and use the appropriate application form. On the website, you will find an adjunct faculty grant application form. This is for off-campus projects. You'll also see an on-campus adjunct faculty development grant application form. This is for faculty wishing to receive a stipend for their time participating in an on-campus meeting or workshop. Proofread your work and have others proofread it for you for both content and clarity. And finally, consider the members of the review committee when preparing your proposal. Depending on the makeup of the committee, members may or may not understand your particular content area. These sound like simplistic tips, but it's the simple things that can badly impact a grant proposal and keep it from being funded. The Adjunct Faculty Development Grant application forms can be found on the website under the Proposal Submission Guidelines tab. You should note that by clicking on the gray boxes, you can type the information requested and the field will expand automatically. Now let's go through the components of the application. The first component is the project abstract. This should be a brief description of what the project is, what you hope to accomplish, and the relevance to your teaching at Keene State College. The next part of the application is the project narrative. This section is broken up into specific topic areas that the committee wants to see information on. These include a brief description of the proposed project, an explanation of how it relates to your teaching, a plan for dissemination of the project results, and a project timeline. The next section is for the project budget. By double-clicking on this form, you will bring up an Excel budget spreadsheet where you can enter your expenses and it will automatically total your budget. In developing your budget, make sure that your expenses are as specific and accurate as possible. A strong, well-prepared budget is an important component to a successful proposal application. The next section is for you to include any other sources of funding for the project where applicable. Examples of other sources of funding might be financial commitments made by your department or dean, or other external funding supporting the project. The budget justification in the next section allows you to explain and provide further context to the project budget, but in a narrative form. For example, if your project involved copying of surveys, you could include an explanation of 500 copies of a 3-page survey at 4 cents a copy, equaling $60. An example of a budget justification for travel might be round-trip mileage from Keene to Boston to conduct a research interview. 230 miles at 51 cents a mile equals $117.30. The final section of this application includes a number of compliance issues and questions that we ask all applicants to respond to. If your project involves the use of hazardous materials, you will be asked to include a statement of how you will safely work with and dispose of the hazardous materials. Projects involving use of human subjects or vertebrate animals require additional review and approval in order to comply with the federal guidelines regulating their use in research. If you answer yes to either of these questions, please contact the Office of Sponsored Projects and Research for further information regarding submitting a request for IRB or IACUC approval. Information on review process and post-award information. OSPR forwards applications to the review committee, and applicants will be notified of all award statuses typically within 7 to 10 days of the application submission. As previously mentioned, faculty wishing to submit applications during the summer months when adjunct faculty development committee members are not on contract should be aware that the response time for application review may take up to 3 to 4 weeks and should plan accordingly. Projects must be completed and grant funds expended by the end of the fiscal year. Other information regarding awarded grants. All small equipment and supplies purchased with grant funds become the property of KSC and must relate directly to or be consumed by the project. And as always, grant recipients are encouraged to disseminate the results of their project to the campus community. Thank you for taking the time to participate in this webinar. If you have any questions regarding the Adjunct Faculty Development Grant Program, please contact me. I can be reached via email at swest@keene.edu or via phone at 358-2046. Thank you and have a nice day.